them to review the case in 60 days and make a decision of, one, are they going to prosecute the case? Two, are going to let the person who brought the case, in this case, what's called a relator, or three, dismiss the case. Very few cases are dismissed. They decided to dismiss my case against Obama, and I raised the issue of conflict of interest. And, Alex, if this scenario is not conflict of interest, we should take those words out of the dictionary and out of the legal dictionary and out of the legal system. I mean the fact that the decision is made by the Department of Justice and the Attorney General's office. Who's the head of that? The Attorney General of the United States. Who's the Attorney General of the United States? Eric Holder. Well, Eric Holder, number one, was a senior member of Obama's campaign staff. Number two, he was one of three individuals selected by Obama to select a vice president who eventually selected Biden. And number three, he was nominated, appointed, and confirmed as Attorney General, the highest law enforcement officer in the country, who reports to the president. So if that person is not a conflict of interest, I don't know what is. So that's where I'm at now with the D.C. Court of Appeals. Hopefully they'll have a court en banc. If not, we're going to take that case up to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Well, let me say this. You've definitely won in the court of public opinion. A lot of Congress people and others will come out and say that they think the birth certificate issue is legitimate. There's no doubt the Indonesian citizenship. We've got a president with a fake made-up name. That's confirmed. I mean, that's why the controlled corporate media keeps getting so mad that we won't shut up about this and that it just keeps gaining ground in national polls, because when somebody looks at the actual evidence, it is overwhelming that there's a massive cover-up and he's ineligible just on the Indonesian citizenship and name issue. And that's why they've got all of his college records so sealed. And so his approval rating's gone from 85% down to 40. He's got the lowest approval rating of any president this far into their situation. But then there's the issue you raised years ago on this show. He's compromised. The establishment knows he's Indonesian citizen, bare minimum, almost certainly born in Kenya, Kenyan citizen born. They know that. So imagine how they're able to blackmail him with this information.
Oh, I definitely think he's blackmailed. I think that's why most of the speeches he gives are on teleprompter. He's reading them. He's great to deliver a speech off a teleprompter, not as good elsewhere, but he's told what to say. And I think our whole country is in jeopardy because of it. This health care bill is blatantly, as far as I'm concerned, unconstitutional, and many other things he's doing. And that's why, and through your help, we had scheduled, if you recall, a march back Memorial Day. We had to cancel that for certain reasons. Excuse me, we haven't rescheduled yet, but looks like we're going to have it in October, getting near election time, because I think people's interest will be up.
Why did you have to reschedule?
Well, because more and more, several groups want to join in with me, and we didn't have enough time to plan it right. I want to have this march, since we're working on a date now for October, and I want it to be the largest march in Washington, D.C. history, because this affront to our U.S. Constitution is the biggest hoax against the Constitution, against our country, against our citizens in 234 years since our Constitution came into effect. You know, the comparison has to be for people out there that question Arnold Schwarzenegger. People have talked to him for 10, 15 years about running for president, and he constantly says, amend the Constitution. I was born in Austria.
Amend the Constitution. Right. I was born. But, he could just change his name, though, to like Billy Bob and say, I am born in California.
He could run on the Obama theory from now on. Obama is destroying the Constitution. Obama has basically said, I don't care about the Constitution. He's basically walking all over the Constitution.
It is a conspiracy theory that I was born in Austria. I was born in California.
Right. How about Obama when he was, I think, back in the spring of 2008, when everyone else was saluting the flag, and he was standing there with his arm down the side. How about when he would never wear an American flag lapel pin? He's changed that. But and then the biggest thing, as far as I'm concerned, he goes around the world apologizing to the United States. Then he bows down to the Saudi king. He bows down to the Japanese emperor. He bows down to the leader
and then they lie
China.
each time and say that he's dropped something. I mean, he just, Your Majesty, you're so great. And they're like, he was picking up something.
Yeah, he was picking up. But just what he has done has destroyed the image of the United States around the world.
Your Majesty. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, and that's why as soon as we get a date here, I'm going to be back on your show, and we're going to ask people to come, because this is the biggest. I don't care what your issue is with Obama. But think about it. If your issue is taxation, if your issue is education, if your issue is medical, whatever your issue is, it all falls back, and then I'm appealing in a way to all the Tea Party people. You have different issues out there, but the main controlling issue is the fact he's a usurper, he's a phony, he's a fraud, he's an imposter. If I am right, and I know I am, if the courts won't handle this, we, the American people, getting together can demand, and if we can bring in 1 to 2 million people to Washington, D.C., and we can have them there and bring a copy of your birth certificate, and everyone hold over their head their copy, the national media will have to cover this, and I really believe we can force Obama out of office, because once the American people stand for him. See, I believe that not enough American public knows about this, because remember, you need a real live birth certificate to register your child for Little League.
Well, I mean, listen. If he had it, he would have released it. He's been very suspicious about this. But regardless, let's say we're wrong and he was born in Hawaii, which the evidence shows is not the case. He was born in Kenya. His real name is Barry Soetoro. He is an Indonesian citizen and went to an Islamic school. And I'm not saying it's bad that he went to Islamic school. The point is the guy is as phony as a $3 bill who he says he is. His name is Barry Soetoro. Barry Soetoro. We've got him. That guy's an imposter. Phil Berg, you're right. Final segment. Stay with us.
Protect your freedoms and be independent by learning how to maintain, repair, and customize your own firearms through these exclusive video training courses on DVD from the American Gunsmithing Institute. Call and get a free 2-hour sampler DVD video and catalog. See just how quickly and easily you can learn firearm disassembly and reassembly, accurizing, customizing, super tuning, refinishing, trigger repair, and much, much more for rifles, pistols, and shotguns. Courses available for both the hobbyist and the professional. You can even get certified as a gunsmith and make money part-time, full-time, or as a retirement income doing what you love. Call 1-800-247-5032 to order your free sampler DVD and catalog. That's 1-800-247-5032. Call now and get a bonus $10 saving coupon. 1-800-247-5032 or go to AmericanGunsmithDVD.com. Learn how. Learn now with AmericanGunsmithDVD.com, your source for how-to gunsmithing videos.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Global meltdowns, massive unemployment, endless wars, a new currency crisis, financially and morally bankrupt. A great and terrible storm is approaching. So what's the best way to get ready, to get prepared for hard times ahead? Introducing Off the Grid News, a weekly newsletter for independent patriots who want practical advice on how to survive and prosper in an increasingly dangerous world. It's the best way to get a black belt in emergency preparedness, survival skills, and off-the-grid living. Off the Grid News is fiercely independent, all about self-reliance and packed with helpful information on survival gardening, food preparation, alternative energy, herbal medicines, privacy and security, as well as God, gold, and guns, with absolutely no apologies. And the best part, this $100 a year service is now free of charge for our listeners. That's right, free for our listeners who sign up at offthegridnews.com. That's offthegridnews.com. You can sign up free at offthegridnews.com. offthegridnews.com.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
Some of these key stories we haven't had time to get to are up at GCNlive.com. That's GCNlive.com. Paul Craig Roberts says U.S. Treasury is running on fumes. Key article. Grim tidings from the Netherlands. Prince Bernhard's grandchildren continue Bilderberg legacy. Key report up there. Also, Google and CIA plowed through millions into huge record the future monitoring project. Steve Watson's got this article, and it's up at GCNlive.com. Again, here's another one. Google and CIA fund political pre-crime technology. Kurt Nimmo, also at GCNlive.com, and all this is also at Infowars.com. And another big report that Rob Dew wrote, WorldNet Daily Writer says fluoride is good for you, an open letter to the writer. It's very well documented. If you want a lot of key fluoride facts, that's all at GCNlive.com. Going back to attorney Phil Berg, also former Deputy Attorney General in Pennsylvania, really the first guy to credibly go after Obama on the birth certificate and the Indonesia issues. We've got about 3-4 minutes left. Any other key developments? What do you think about states moving to pass laws to force him to give them the birth certificate? Didn't Arizona pass that?
No, it was introduced, and the House passed it, I think, and the Senate didn't pass it. But you can know there's a phony here because Representative Posey in Florida, U.S. Congressman, Republican, introduced legislation that all presidential candidates as of 2012 must show that their natural-born status to be qualified. About 8 other Republicans joined in, but no Democrats. Now, why did no Democrats join in? Because they know he's a fraud. They know he's a phony. If I may give a pitch here, our website is ObamaCrimes.com, OBAMACRIMES.com, .com, ObamaCrimes.com. Right now, we need some help. We need some money. We're going to raise some money because we want to advertise this march since we have the date. We want as many people in this country to be aware of this. I believe people in this country do not know about this. I think the majority of people don't know, and if they did know, we could have 10 million people in Washington because this is such an outrage. You know, you might differ on different policies or Republican ideas, Democrat ideas. This crosses, like I'm a Democrat, but this crosses everything. This crosses the line completely.
Well, if they can get away with this, the sky's the limit.
Well, I do this. I say the most important thing we have is what? Is the U.S. Constitution. There's nothing more important than the Constitution, and the 308 million people in the country deserve to know the truth. Our forefathers need us to fight for this, and the men and women who have served valiantly in our wars over the years, 1.6 million died defending our Constitution. Another 1.6 million have been injured. And how about the millions of others who haven't, who have served our nation and are still serving our nation, which they shouldn't be over in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they are doing to defend this Constitution, which Obama does not treat. Obama thinks it's trash. Obama's out for this New World Order, and the New World Order will not help us. So I need everyone to join with us, spread the word. You know, such an honor to be on your show again, Alex. ObamaCrimes.com. Help us. And as soon as the date comes out, I'm going to be back on your show. And we're going to make sure that this is the largest march in Washington, D.C. history because there's nothing more important than the U.S. Constitution.
And if we bring Obama down, his government health care, all of it will also be reversed. Phil Berg, look forward to talking to you as the march nears. God bless you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You bet. There goes Phil Berg. We're basically out of time for this hour. Coming up in the next hour, I'm going to get into the whole Google spying and the fact that they claim they can predict the future now by tracking everything that you're doing. If you don't have an AM and FM that carries all of the show, ask them to. Be sure and support our local sponsors. But also, you can always listen to the free podcast. Download that at Infowars.com on the listen page. Download the free iPhone app. Listen how you want, where you want, when you want. That's at Infowars.com. And you can also listen to us on shortwave and a lot of new affiliates. We've been getting about 3 or 4 new affiliates a week. 6 months ago, it was about 2 a week. I mean, the show is just exploding, and we want to thank all the stations that do pick up the show. Be sure and support those local sponsors. And please spread the word. Tell everybody how you listen to the show and how they can listen. That's how we're going to reach more people.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Alex Jones here with urgent information concerning TrendsResearch.com. The Trends Journal distills the voluminous ongoing research of the Trends Research Institute into a concise, readily accessible form by tracking 300 separately defined domestic and international trends The Trends Journal establishes the connections that others fail to see or misinterpret. Gerald Salente's Trends Journal allows you to anticipate change, recognize the implications, and take protective strategies. Individual readers from every walk of life can put the Trends Journal Trends